For this very special KT One-on-One, we have with us somebody who single-handedly redefined what modern-day journalism looks like in India. Barkha Dutt is not only an award-winning journalist and an author, but she also runs her own digital news channel called the MoJo Story.
I think there is a danger of a fake news epidemic. It isn't the future, it's the present. I don't believe in cancel culture.
Hello and welcome to Khaleej Times, Barkha. It's an absolute honor to have you with us today.
Thank you so much.
I want to start by asking you that in many ways, with the robust body of work that you've done and the career decisions you've made, you have pioneered independent journalism in India with setting up MoJo Story from ground up. What has been your biggest takeaway whilst doing that?
So, it's been a lot of learning and unlearning. I moved to digital and moved to being an entrepreneur after more than 20 years in television as an employee. And one of the things that happened to MoJo Story was that we launched 3 months before COVID hit. And it was just coincidence. But what it allowed us to do was to reclaim, in a way, the commitment to people that journalism and storytelling should be about people. MoJo Story was built on the back of this boots of on-the-ground reporting, which had kind of disappeared from television. And one of the things that discovered was that people were really hungry for that old-fashioned reporting, and all they saw on TV was the same old debates.
Correct.
But of course, as an entrepreneur, as a person migrating from TV to digital, I had to get used to a lot of things. One was that, where you had 15 people doing one thing, technology now allowed you to do the same with 3 people.
Yeah.
Look at us, we're doing an interview here right now, and you're 2 of you on a camera shoot. In television, this same shoot would have taken 8 people. But the fact is that there's no difference in production, there's no difference in quality. And that's what I think I've learned in my 3 years now as an entrepreneur, that in a way, we are at the cutting edge of what's happening in the present. People are consuming their content on the phone, people are consuming their content digitally, and digital isn't the future, it's the present.
Correct. And the flip side to that in many ways is also that not just authoritative voices like yourself, but anybody with a social media account in today's day and age can become a publisher.
Yes.
There are no longer those gatekeepers that kind of sieve through the opinion. And there's an influx of opinion from all ends, and mostly sort of like they're devoid of, facts and history and context, or the nuances that journalists are trained to bring in. So what are the dangers of that?
No, look, we live in an age, it's like a simultaneous truth, right? Simultaneously, there is a democratization of the content space. The barriers for entry now are very low. Literally anybody with a phone and a good internet account, or a laptop and a good internet account today, as you said, can be a publisher and be a very, very popular one, and even earn money off channels like YouTube, and we see that happening. But on the other side, I think there is a danger of a fake news epidemic. There is a danger of even sometimes hate speech sort of mixing up with opinion. But we can't sort of hide from change. Technology changes you whether you're ready to be changed or not. So the best thing you can do is to embrace that technology, create something meaningful out of it, and hope that people will follow you for what you have to offer.
So there's also been a recent opinion column on the Washington Post which argues with research that truth-seeking news media must move beyond objectivity to produce trustworthy news.
Yeah.
What is your, do you think objectivity is at odds with seeking truth while being...
Not always. I think it really depends on the issue. This is a very complex debate. Either people are totally being sycophantic or they're being activisty, and I don't think that's the role, certainly either of them is the role of a journalist. I think the objectivity means that you have the stomach to give a platform to the views of those you don't agree with. And while you're listening to them, you don't betray that you don't agree with. I mean, you're allowed to say, but, I may disagree, but I want to listen to you. I don't believe in cancel culture in the name of truth-seeking. Equally, I don't believe in objectivity when there is no other side. This is an eternal debate in media. It's been carrying on for as long as I've been a journalist.
Given all the work that you've done in independent journalism and mobile storytelling in India, how do you see the future of independent journalism, not only in India, but also globally?
I believe that eventually, sponsorship and subscriptions will move to digital space. So just like people pay for a Tata Sky or a cable connection, they will start paying for individuals that they like. To just like you have sponsors for programs, you will have sponsors for programs online. I think the lesson for media houses all over the world, I think, is that you have to maybe think of growing in a lateral way instead of a vertical way, by which I mean that I am getting into spaces that are not only about news. So I think we have to think in a creative way, because the fact is that between artificial intelligence, a broken revenue model, polarized sort of environments, media cannot go by the old rules. It's not going to survive if it only operates by the old rules. So we have to keep up with the things that are changing all around us.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Barkha. It's been an absolute honor chatting with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.